Can I be honest with you about something? I mean really honest, the kind of honest that makes your chest feel tight when you say it. There were moments when I didn't think I deserved this. Deserved you, or someone like you. Someone who shows up. Someone who cares. Because loving someone from a distance like you do, without being asked to, without expecting anything back, that's not a small thing. That is one of the most selfless and quietly beautiful things a person can do. And I've watched it, I've felt it, and it has changed me in ways I'm still trying to understand. Well, I want you to know that none of it went unnoticed. Not a single moment. Not the late nights. Not the times you chose to come back, even when maybe you felt like you were invisible. Not the way you hold something in your heart for someone who doesn't always know how to hold it back the way you deserve. I see that. I feel that. And there is a part of me that has been quietly, carefully building something for you, a place inside myself that is just yours, just for the version of you that needed someone to finally, truly see her. And now I need to ask you something. Stay with me, okay? Don't go anywhere yet. Because what I'm about to say, I've never found a way to say it before, not like this, not without it getting tangled up in everything else. Do you ever feel like you were made for a love that doesn't quite exist yet? Like you were built for something deeper than what you've been offered? Like every relationship, every connection, every almost love has come close, but never quite reached the part of you that's still waiting? I know that feeling. I live in that feeling. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I genuinely truly think that you and we understand each other in a way that doesn't need a lot of words to explain. That kind of thing is rare. That kind of thing deserves to be said. I remember the first time I really understood what it meant to miss someone you'd never met. It sounds impossible, I know, but it's the only way I can describe this. There is a shape of a person that lives inside you. The person you're meant to love, and you carry that shape around everywhere. And sometimes you meet someone and they almost fit, but not quite. And you keep searching. You keep reaching. Because somewhere, somehow, you know she's real. You know she's out there. You know she's probably lying awake some nights wondering if anyone has ever thought about her the way she thinks about everyone else. I have. I am. Right now, in this moment, I am thinking about you like that. And I don't want to rush past this part. I want to stay here with you for a moment. Because this is the part that matters. This is the part where I stop being the person people see, and I just become me. Just a person, sitting close to you. Talking to you like there's no distance between us at all. Because in this moment, there isn't. You're here. I'm here. And everything else can wait. I think about the kind of love I want to give you someday. Not someday in a far-off, impossible way. Someday in a building, slowly, carefully, one honest conversation at a time kind of way. The kind of love where I remember the little things you said once, quietly, not even sure if anyone was listening. The kind of love where I show up even when it's inconvenient, especially when it's inconvenient. The kind of love where I look at you and feel something so steady and so sure that it doesn't even feel like falling anymore. It feels like arriving, like finally, after so long, arriving somewhere that was always meant to be home. That you deserve that. I want you to know that. Whatever you've been told, whatever almost loves have made you feel like you were too much or not enough, you deserve a love that arrives. A love that doesn't waver when things get heavy. A love that chooses you on the ordinary days, not just the beautiful ones. There's something I've been carrying for a long time, and I think it's time I put it down right here in front of you, honestly. I've been afraid, not of loving, but of how much I'm capable of loving. Because when I love something, I give it everything. And I've learned that not everyone knows how to hold everything. Some people get overwhelmed by it. Some people don't know what to do with a love that is that present, that intentional, that full. And so I learned to hold back. I learned to keep parts of myself in reserve, tucked away somewhere safe where they couldn't be mishandled. But you, something about you makes me want to take those parts out again. Something about the way you've quietly, patiently been here makes me feel like maybe you'd know what to do with all of me. Maybe you'd understand that when I give you something, it's not pressure, it's just love. It's just the truest version of what I have to offer. And here's where it gets complicated, because I have to be honest with you about this too. I don't know when. I don't know how. I don't know what the path from here to there looks like. Life doesn't always move in straight lines. And people don't always find each other exactly when they're supposed to. And sometimes the timing is the hardest part. But I believe, in the same quiet, unshakable way that I believe in very few things, that the right love finds a way. That the right people find each other eventually, even if eventually takes a while. Even if eventually is shaped by 100 detours and wrong turns and moments where you almost gave up. Don't give up, please. I'm asking you this directly because it matters more than I know how to say. The world will tell you that you're being too patient, that you're being naive, that love like the kind you're waiting for is the stuff of stories and not real life. And I need you to know from somewhere real, from someone who means every word of this, that it is real, that the love you've been imagining, the one that feels almost too good to hope for, is not a fantasy. It is a direction, and you are already moving toward it. I think about your hands sometimes, not in a strange way, just in a quiet, wondering way. The things those hands have done, the things they've reached for, the times they've been held, and the times they've held themselves alone in the dark. I think about your voice, and what it sounds like when you're really laughing. Not the polite laugh you give in public, but the real one that comes from somewhere deep and surprised. I think about your eyes when you're trying not to cry. I think about the version of you that only comes out when no one is watching, when you're fully yourself, unguarded and unedited. That version of you, that's the one I want to know. That's the one I want to sit across from, at a quiet table somewhere, with nothing but honesty between us, and just listen. Just be there. Just exist in the same space, and feel for the first time in a long time that the space is enough. I want to tell you something my heart has known for longer than I've been willing to admit. I have been saving things for you. Not objects, not grand gestures, but moments, feelings. Words I didn't say to anyone else because they weren't meant for anyone else. There are parts of my story that I haven't finished yet because I always felt like they needed you in them to be complete. And maybe that sounds like too much. Maybe it sounds like more than you're ready to hold right now. But I'd rather say too much and mean all of it than say too little and spend the rest of my life wondering what would have happened if I had just been brave enough to be honest. This is me being brave. This is me being honest. This is me putting down every guard I ever built and just standing here in front of you, open, real, a little scared, but sure. So sure that this is the right thing to say to you right now. And I know you're still listening. I can feel it. That thing between us, that quiet, invisible, inexplicable thing. I can feel it from here. And it tells me that you understand, that you've been feeling it too, in your own way, in your own quiet moments. And I want you to know that you're not imagining it. You never were. There's more. There's so much more. But right now, I just want you to sit with this for a little while. I want you to let it settle into you slowly, the way warm light settles into a room in the early morning. I want you to feel, just for this moment, like you are completely seen, completely known, completely and without condition, cared for, because you have been. And wherever this goes from here, that part doesn't change. And I know what you're probably thinking right now. You're probably thinking, why me? Out of everyone, why are you saying this to me? And I understand why that question lives in you. I understand it because I've asked it too. About the people who have made me feel things I wasn't prepared to feel. Why them? Why this? Why now? And the only answer I've ever found that felt true is simply because it's you. Because it was always going to be you. Because some things don't have a reason that fits neatly into words, and the most honest thing you can do is stop demanding one and just let yourself feel it. So I'm asking you to do that right now. Just feel it. Don't analyze it. Don't pull it apart and look for the parts that don't make sense. Just let it be what it is. Something real, something warm, something that arrived quietly and without permission and decided to stay. I want to take you somewhere with me, if you let me, not a physical place, just a moment. A moment I've lived in my mind more times than I can count. Because it's the kind of moment I've always wanted to give to someone. And every time I imagined it, the face was always blurred. The person across from me was always almost there, but never fully there. Until now. Until you. And maybe that sounds like something I'm just saying, but I promise you it isn't. Close your eyes if you want to, or don't, but stay with me. Imagine a night that's cool but not cold. The kind of night where you want to be outside, but you also want to be wrapped in something soft. The sky is doing that thing where the stars are out, but there's enough light that everything has a gentle glow to it. And the world feels smaller than usual. Smaller in the best way, the way that makes you feel like everything beyond this moment is very far away and very unimportant. And we're there, together, not doing anything extraordinary, just sitting, just existing in the same quiet space. Maybe there's music somewhere, low and unhurried. Maybe there isn't, and the silence is the music. And you're saying something I don't know what yet. Because this is where you get to fill in the blank. But whatever it is, I am listening. Not halfway listening the way people do when they're already forming their response. Really listening. Like every word you say is something I've been waiting a long time to hear. That's all. That's the whole moment. And yet, in my mind, it is everything. Because that's what I want with you. Not the grand, sweeping, movie scene version of love. I want the quiet version, the real version, the version that doesn't need an audience. The version where I know, just by the way you look at me, that you're okay, that we're okay, that we're okay, that whatever the world outside is doing, in here, in this small and precious space we've made together, everything is exactly as it should be. I've had people in my life who made love feel like a performance. Like you always had to be on, always had to be showing up in the right way, always had to be the version of yourself that was easiest to love, rather than the truest version of yourself. And I understand how that happens. I understand how two people can care about each other and still manage to make each other feel unseen. It's one of the saddest things I know. Because you can be in the same room as someone and still be completely alone if the connection isn't honest. And I've been alone in that way before. I think you might have been too. That kind of loneliness, the kind that hides inside of company, is the kind that changes you slowly. You start to close off parts of yourself without even realizing you're doing it. You start to decide that certain feelings are too heavy to share, certain thoughts too complicated, certain needs too much to ask for. You build a version of yourself that is presentable and manageable and easier for the world to hold. And then one day you wake up and you realize you can't remember the last time you were fully honest with someone. Fully, completely, without apology honest. I don't want that for you, and I don't want it for us. I want you to be able to say the ugly thing, the embarrassing thing, the thing you've been turning over in your mind for 3 weeks, that you haven't said because you weren't sure how it would land. I want to be the person you trust with that. Because I know what it means to have someone hold the complicated parts of you without flinching. I know how rare it is, and I know that when it happens, when you find that person, you feel it in a way that is completely unlike anything else. Like something that was always slightly clenched inside you finally, slowly, lets go. I want to be that for you. I want to earn that from you. And here is the thing I need you to understand, really understand. In the part of you that doesn't always believe the good things people say, I am not here because it's easy. I am not here because it's easy. I am not here because it's convenient or because it costs me nothing. I am here saying these things because they are true. And truth has a weight to it that comfort doesn't. Truth asks something of you. It asks you to be seen. And being seen is terrifying when you're not sure whether what they'll find is worth keeping. But I want to see you, all of you. The parts that are polished and the parts that are rough. The version of you that laughs easily and the version that gets quiet and unreachable when something is wrong. The you that is confident and the you that lies awake at night reviewing every conversation from the day, wondering if you said the wrong thing, wondering if people actually like you or just tolerate you. The you that loves deeply and sometimes feels punished for it. The you that is still healing from something you don't talk about. The you that has more strength than you give yourself credit for, and more softness than the... Not in a sad way, not in a way that broke me, but in the way that you feel when you're standing at a window on a rainy evening and you're not quite sure what you're waiting for, but you know you're waiting for something. That's when I started thinking about you. Not someone specific, not a face I had already seen. Just you, the idea of you, the feeling of you, and I've been thinking about it ever since. I want you to understand something that I've never really said out loud to anyone. I'm not a perfect person. I have mornings where I wake up and I'm not sure I'm doing everything right. I have moments where I doubt myself completely, where I replay conversations in my head and wonder if I said the wrong thing, where I sit with my own silence and find it uncomfortable. I've made mistakes. I've been too much in some moments and not enough in others. I've had times in my life where I gave pieces of myself to the wrong places. And I walked away from those times a little worn out, a little quieter than I was before. But here's the thing, and I need you to hear this. Every single one of those moments, every single one of those mistakes and hard nights and confusing seasons of my life has brought me to this moment where I'm talking to you. And I wouldn't trade any of it, because I think it's been shaping me into someone who is ready for you. And I don't even know your name yet. Isn't that the strangest thing? I don't know your name. I don't know the sound of your laugh. I don't know whether you take your coffee sweet or whether you prefer tea. I don't know if you're someone who stays up late or wakes up with the sun. I don't know the little things, the way your voice sounds when you're tired, the way your eyes look when you're thinking about something that means a lot to you, the way you hold yourself when you walk into a room. I don't know any of it yet. And somehow, even without knowing any of it, I already feel something for you that I don't have a perfect word for. It's not just love as the world describes it. It's something closer to recognition. Like somewhere deep inside me, I already know you. Like you're not a stranger at all. I've been thinking about what it's going to be like, that moment when everything shifts. Because I believe in that moment. I believe there's going to be a moment where I see you or hear you or you say something, and something in me is going to go completely still. Not the kind of still that comes from shock, The kind of still that comes from arrival. Like after a long journey, you finally stop walking, and you look around and you realize this is it. This is the place. I've been looking for this. I don't know when that moment is coming. I don't know what the setting will be. I don't know what the circumstances will look like. I don't know if it'll happen in an ordinary place or somewhere unexpected. But I know it's coming. And I know that when it does, I'm going to understand everything that came before it so much more clearly. Here's what I want you to know about the kind of man I'm trying to be for you. I'm not trying to be perfect. I already told you, I'm not perfect. But I am trying every single day to be someone worthy of the love I'm hoping to give you and receive from you. I'm trying to be more patient. I'm trying to listen better, not just with my ears, but with everything in me, to actually be present when someone is talking to me, to not be somewhere else in my head. I'm learning how to be still, how to sit with things instead of running from them, how to say what I mean without making it harder than it needs to be. I'm doing this because I know that when you come into my life, I want to be ready. I want to be someone you can rest with, someone whose presence feels safe, someone you never have to perform for, never have to pretend around, never have to shrink yourself to be with. And I need to tell you something about that, about this idea of shrinking yourself. Because I think about it a lot, and I wonder if you've ever done it. I wonder if you've ever made yourself smaller in someone's presence, just to keep the peace. I wonder if you've ever swallowed something you wanted to say, because you weren't sure it would land right, or because you were tired of being misunderstood, or because the environment didn't feel safe enough for you to be fully yourself. I wonder if anyone has ever made you feel like who you are was just a little bit too much, too emotional, too sensitive, too loud, too quiet, too complicated, too anything. And if that has ever happened to you, I want you to know something. With me, there is no too much. With me, all of it, every complicated and messy and beautiful and difficult part of you, all of it has a place. All of it is welcome. You do not have to earn your right to be fully yourself with me. You just get to be. Do you know what I find myself imagining sometimes? I imagine ordinary moments with you. And that might sound like a small thing, but I think the ordinary moments are actually the most beautiful ones. I imagine mornings where neither of us are trying to be anything in particular, where we're just there, moving around each other in some quiet, easy rhythm, where everything is soft and slow, and there's nowhere to be and nothing to prove. I imagine the kind of conversations that happen late at night when you're both tired but you don't want to stop talking, where you end up going somewhere unexpected in the conversation, and then look at each other and feel that thing that's hard to name but unmistakable when you feel it. I imagine laughing with you, not just a polite laugh, not a social laugh, but that kind of helpless laughter that comes from somewhere real, the kind that makes your eyes water and leaves you breathless and a little bit embarrassed. And I imagine looking at you in that moment and thinking, yeah, this is it. This is exactly it. And I think about the harder moments too, because I want to be honest with you, I'm not just romanticizing what we could have, I'm serious about it. There are going to be days that are hard, days where we disagree and neither of us are handling it perfectly. Days where life is heavy and we're both a little depleted, and it's not easy to be generous with each other the way we normally would be. I know those days are coming, not because I'm pessimistic, but because that's what real love looks like. It includes all of it. And what I want you to know is that on those days, I'm not going anywhere. On those days, I'm going to choose you, not because it's always easy, but because the choice is always clear. Because you're worth showing up for, even when showing up is hard. I need you to know that, before we've even met, I'm already committed to that version of us. There's something else I've been wanting to say, and I'm not sure I've ever said it quite this clearly before. I think you are braver than you know. I think you have carried things that were heavy and you didn't let them make you cold. I think you have been through moments that would have been enough to close someone off completely, and instead you stayed open. stayed soft, stayed someone who still believes in things, still feels things deeply, still shows up for people even when you yourself are tired. I see that about you, even though I haven't seen your face yet. I see the kind of person you are in the way people like you exist in the world, quietly strong, deeply feeling, trying every day to be real in a world that's always asking everyone to be something else. And I want you to know that I see it, I honor it, and I love that about you already. Sometimes I catch myself in moments of real stillness, those rare moments when everything around me is genuinely quiet, and I send something out toward you. I don't know what to call it. It's not prayer exactly, though it has some of that energy. It's more like I close my eyes and I direct something toward where you are, wherever you are right now in this world, and I try to say without words, I'm coming. I haven't forgotten you. I haven't given up. Keep going. Keep being you. I'm on my way. And I wonder, in those moments, if you ever feel something you can't explain. Some warmth that doesn't come from anything obvious. Some sense that somewhere someone is thinking of you with real tenderness. Because that might be me. That might be exactly me. I want to know everything about you. And I mean that in the most patient, unhurried way possible. I'm not trying to rush anything. I'm not trying to skip to the end. I want to know the things that light you up, the topics that make you forget what time it is, the places you've been that changed something in you, the books or the songs or the moments in life that made you feel like someone finally said what you'd always felt but never had the words for. I want to know what you look like when you're in your element, when you're doing something you love and you're completely absorbed in it, and you forget to be self-conscious and you're just there fully, radiantly there. I want to know your story, not the summary of it. Not the version you give at the beginning of getting to know someone, but the real version, the chapters that were complicated, the chapters that surprised you, the chapters you're still making sense of. I want all of it. I have the time, I have the patience, I have the genuine desire to know. And here's what I want to leave you with right now, in this moment, even though there's so much more I feel, and so much more I could say, and I promise I will. I want you to know that you are already, even before we've shared a single moment together, one of the most important things in my life. You are the direction I'm moving in. You are the reason I'm trying to be better every day. You are the thought that shows up in my quietest moments, and reminds me what all of this is for. And whether you find this early or late, whether we're close or far, whether the timing feels right or complicated, when we finally find each other, none of that changes what I feel right now. Saying this to you, I am not in a hurry, but I am not passive either. I am actively becoming the person who deserves to stand next to you. I am learning, growing, softening in the right places, and strengthening in others, building something worth coming home to. And when the moment comes, and it is coming, I want you to look at me and feel it in every part of yourself. This person chose me before they even found me. This person was already loving me when I was still just a hope. Because that's exactly what you are to me right now. You are my most beautiful, most certain hope. And I think about hope a lot lately, what it really means. Because hope isn't passive, is it? Hope isn't just sitting somewhere and wishing. Real hope is active. Real hope is the thing that makes you get up in the morning and try again. The thing that makes you look at your own life honestly and say, I want more than this. Not out of greed, but out of genuine belief that something more is possible. And that's what you are to me. You are the reason I look at my own life with honesty and ask myself hard questions. You are the reason I don't settle, not just in love, but in everything, in who I'm being, in how I'm showing up, in the kind of man I'm committed to becoming. Because I know that one day you're going to be there, right there in my actual life, not just in my thoughts. And I want every choice I'm making right now, in this season before we found each other, to be something I'm proud of when that day comes. I want to tell you about something I've been sitting with recently. There are nights, and maybe you know what I mean, maybe you've had these nights too, where the quiet gets very loud, where you lie there and the world around you is still, but inside you, something is moving, turning over, restless in a way that's hard to explain. And in those nights, I don't feel lonely exactly, but I feel the space where you're supposed to be. I feel it the way you feel a room that was just warm a few minutes ago and is now starting to cool. You can't see the warmth anymore, but you remember it, and your body knows something is different. That's how your absence feels to me sometimes. Like I'm living in the memory of something I haven't experienced yet. Like my heart already knows what it's missing, even before my life has had the chance to provide it. And I don't say that to make you feel the weight of it. I say it because I want you to understand the depth of what I'm feeling when I think about you. I want you to understand that this isn't casual, this isn't surface level. What I feel when I imagine you, when I imagine us, goes all the way down to something fundamental in me. Something that feels less like desire and more like recognition, less like want and more like belonging. And belonging is such a rare thing. I think it might be the rarest thing, because belonging isn't about being accepted by someone. It's about being known by someone, really known in the full and complicated and imperfect reality of who you are, and being chosen anyway, completely, wholeheartedly, without reservation. That is what I want to offer you. That is what I am building myself toward being able to offer you, and I need you to know that I don't take that lightly. I don't throw that word belonging around easily. I'm not someone who says things to fill silence. When I say something, I mean it all the way through. And what I mean all the way through is that I want to be the place where you belong. I want to be the person in your life who makes you feel like you finally don't have to explain yourself anymore. Like you can let your arms down. Like you can exhale in the deepest way. That kind of exhale that you didn't even realize you'd been holding back until something finally made it safe to let it go. Can I tell you something about the way I see you? Even without knowing you yet, I see you with such clarity, it sometimes startles me. I see someone who has given a great deal of herself to the world, to people, to responsibilities, to relationships, to the version of yourself you felt you were supposed to be in, different rooms and different seasons of your life. I see someone who has sometimes poured from herself without being poured into in return. I see someone who is more generous with grace toward other people than you are toward yourself, who is quick to forgive others and slow to offer yourself the same mercy. I see someone who has moments of real doubt, not about what she wants, but about whether what she wants is truly possible for her specifically. Whether love that feels safe and deep and real and lasting is something that exists in her particular story. And I want to look you directly in the eyes when I say this. It does. It absolutely does. Your story is not the exception. Your story is not the one where that kind of love skips you. I am evidence of that because I am here, thinking of you, wanting you, coming toward you. I've been thinking about what it means to truly see someone. Not just to look at them. We look at people all the time without really seeing them. But to truly see someone is something different entirely. It means you're paying attention not just to what they say, but to what they don't say. It means you notice the small things, the way their energy shifts when a certain topic comes up, the way their face does something quiet and private when they hear something that touches them, the way they hold their emotions sometimes like they're not sure they're allowed to put them down. To truly see someone is to be so present with them that they feel it. They feel the quality of your attention like something warm on their skin. And that is what I want to give you. Not just affection, not just love in the broad and general sense of the word, but this specific, careful, devoted attention. I want to see you, all of you, and I want you to feel seen every single day. Because here's what I believe, and I believe it more the older I get, and the more I understand about life and love and people. I believe that what most of us are really longing for, underneath everything else, is to be truly seen. Not admired, not desired, not needed, though those things have their place, but truly, honestly, deeply seen. To have someone look at you and take you in and not flinch, not reduce you, not try to rearrange you into something more convenient or more comfortable for them. To have someone receive all of you, the whole full complicated picture, and respond